Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in today. I am going to be making iguana tacos. So I just got back from Florida not that long ago, hunted some iguanas, got to take the meat home, so I'm gonna make some good stuff out of it. I love alligator, so I'm kind of anticipating that this is gonna taste similar to alligator. So first of all, I'm gonna start out with the slaw. So I'm gonna serve these over some really small flour tortillas. I'm gonna fry up the tail meat section, and then we'll top it with this kind of Florida-inspired slaw. So we'll make the slaw first, and then we'll head on over and do the iguana meat, and I'll show you how I do that, and then I'll show you a finished product. So this is the slaw first. So I bought a package of the generic chopped up coleslaw, and this is about a half a package. Now, when the gardens are doing great, so it's only April here, so my gardens aren't even in, it's actually snowed this morning. But when my gardens are doing great, I'll go grab a cabbage out of the garden and I'll shred it up in my food processor and I'll do that. I would much rather have, fresh stuff, but this is super fast and super cheap, so we'll use this today. So I would say it's about 2 cups. You can double or triple this recipe if you have lots of mouths to feed, but I'm just going to show you like a small portion of it today. The add-ins I'm going to use, I've got some cilantro that I've coarsely chopped. So I chopped it up a little bit, but you can still see that there's like bigger pieces. So this is cilantro. This is about just one little bunch that comes in one of those little packages in the store. I don't buy cilantro very often, so I just get what I need when I need it. So that's gonna go in. I'm gonna put that into the slaw. And then the other thing I'm gonna put into the slaw, oh, have you noticed my vintage bowl? Please comment below if all your grandmas had the same one. The other thing I'm gonna put in is on one side here, this is 1 green onion chopped all the way through. All the recipes that I looked at said to just use the green part, but I like onion, so I put the white part in too. That's the beauty about recipes. Do what you want, do it how you like it, right? And on this other side here, this is a serrano pepper that I have seeded, taken all of the membranes out. I don't want a lot of heat, I want flavor. So I didn't leave, as the membranes and the seeds, I don't want any of that like super, super hot. I just want flavor. You could, if you don't find a serrano, jalapeno is pretty much the same category. Or if you want a mild pepper flavor, go ahead and use green pepper. Use what you like. I'm gonna put that in. So for the dressing, I'm gonna use kind of a tart, tangy, with just a hint of sweet. And just a couple of seasonings, not very many. So I am going to use sour cream. This is just plain old sour cream. Nothing fancy about it. I'm just gonna scoop it out a little bit. I would say probably that's about a half a cup. This is how I bake and cook, by the way. Probably about a half a cup, maybe a little bit more. I'll probably do 1 more scoop. And this is the first time I'm making this, so if it's dry, I'll add more. If not, And then for seasonings, I'm gonna put right on top of the sour cream. So some recipes will call for chopped up garlic or granulated garlic or minced garlic. Use what you have, use what you like, right? I actually do prefer to use granulated garlic in a lot of my recipes. I think you get a lot of punch of flavor that way. Unless I'm cooking with heat, then I'll use like regular garlic that has intense flavor. So I'm just going to sprinkle this on here. I'm probably going to use a couple of teaspoons of garlic. I don't use a lot of salt in my cooking. I think if you like more salt, you can add it later, but in my cooking, I try to let the flavors come out naturally. A hint of salt helps that, but you don't need a lot of salt. So I'm just going to do a couple of dashes, basically, and I'll go a little heavier on the pepper. A little bit of pepper in there. And then just for a kick, I'm going to put a little dash of cumin. probably not even a half a teaspoon. And then I wanted to keep this as close to Florida flavors as possible, so I'm going to use key lime juice. Now, you could just grab a lime from the store and squeeze a fresh lime in it and it would be extra fabulous, but I had purchased this to make a key lime pie and I still have a little bit left over, so I thought, hey, it's Florida key lime juice, let's put a little bit in there. So I'm just gonna do a couple squirts. It's probably a couple of tablespoons. And then the last thing I'm gonna add is just a drizzle of honey. And I'm actually going to use Florida orange honey. So this is straight from where we stayed down in Florida. So hopefully that just kind of keeps in with the flavors. And just a little bit, like not even a teaspoon, because we don't want this to be sweet, but we want that hint of flavor. So I'm just going to stir up the slaw sauce, basically, the best I can. So I'm using sour cream. You could also use Greek yogurt. That would be delicious in this. I suppose you could use mayo if you like it a little thicker, or Miracle-Whip for tanginess, but because we're adding in all these ingredients, I think the sour cream or the Greek yogurt would be better choices because they have less underlying flavor to them. They're more adapted to take in flavors. So I am gonna taste this. I taste everything as I go, but I'll use a clean one, I promise. Tell me what it needs. I actually think it needs a titch more lime. I want to taste that lime in there. And I prefer probably a little bit more salt, but I'm going to wait and I'm going to probably put that just on my own portion. And I think I'm going to put a hint of maybe just a little bit more cumin. I was thinking about something else, but I'm going to think about it a little bit more. I'm going to taste it one more time. I was thinking about like a red pepper, but I double backed on that because of the pepper that I just added to the slaw, so. All right, we'll be clean. I'll take another spoon. I think that's about perfect. So, now that I have that, I'm just gonna add them together. Super creamy. This is super healthy for you too because sour cream is low in fat and calories, and I didn't add any oil. So if you're looking for, you know, like a lighter, healthier version, this is a great option for you. And so then I'm just gonna mix all of this slaw up. And whenever I do any kind of coleslaw or cold type salad like this, I'm making this well in advance because you want that to sit in the fridge and have all of those flavors marry each other really well and kind of sit and just ferment a little bit even. Okay, this is what the finished product looks like. And stay tuned, and I'm just gonna plop it on some tacos in a couple of minutes. Thanks. Okay, so for the fried iguana tail for the tacos, what I've done is I've cubed up the tail meat into bite-sized pieces, and I'm going to sprinkle just a small amount of salt and pepper over the top, and then I'm going to coat these lightly in flour and fry them. I don't like using a heavy batter for any of my fish or alligator or anything like that. I just like a really thin layer of flour just so that the flavor of the meat comes through and it's not a real bulky breading or anything like that. So I'm gonna get these floured up and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is what it looks like. I've just got them really lightly floured, and I'm going to heat up some oil. I have a deep fryer. You could also air fry these if you wanted to. You could lightly saute them on the stove if you want to. Whatever you have to use it. I'm gonna fire up the deep fryer. I'm gonna throw a batch in and I'll show you what they look like. And then when I'm done cooking them all, we'll show you a taco. So stay tuned. Okay, so oil is hot. I'm going to put the first batch in. I'm gonna show you a little bit about what that looks like when it comes out. And then we will make a taco. I'm using peanut oil. You can use whatever oil you prefer. I like peanut oil because it has a high temperature tolerance. It doesn't burn very easily. We'll give those a few minutes and then we'll see how they turn out. Okay, so a little over 3 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes, and it looks like they're done. They're very golden and crispy. So awesome. I'm gonna get the next batch in and then I'll show you how I'm gonna make the taco while these are cooking. So hold on. Okay, so this is how I'm gonna plan on eating these. I'm gonna try these. So they kind of look like gator nuggets, these little iguana nuggets. So you could totally stop right here and do like honey mustard, barbecue, ranch, and just eat them as nuggets, which I think would probably be really delicious too. But I'm gonna make a little taco out of them with the slaw that we made earlier in the video. So I just have these little tiny flour tortillas. You could use whatever you want. And I'm just gonna put, 3 or 4 pieces in the taco. And then I'm gonna put probably a good, 1 to 2 tablespoons of that slaw. And that's it. Let's try it. Okay. The slaw has a really good bite to it from that serrano pepper. A little bit of heat, it's really good, and the cilantro in there tastes really good. I would say the iguana tastes almost identical to alligator. It just has that little bit of fishy flavor, but a chicken texture. Really, really good. I would eat this again. I would eat it as a nugget. It's really good. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Next time when I make the little iguana legs, I think we're going to barbecue those. I will post that too. So stay tuned. Thanks.